Welcome to America News.
I can't watch the news anymore, it's just too depressing, and it makes me angry. More and more people are coming to this conclusion, and no wonder America in the age of Trump is way beyond divided. It's angry and at war, with one side hysterically convinced the country is unjust and racist, and accusing everyone who sees things differently of being deplorable bigots, even fascists. Political violence has become the new normal as the left's mania has grown both pathological and alarming, and nowhere more so than when focused on the president himself. The left now daily calls President Donald Trump a racist and white supremacist and frequently compares him to Adolf Hitler. Polling shows 93% of Democrats believe Trump is literally tearing the country apart, while the party's leaders compete with one another to invent ever more creative grounds for impeachment, from empty allegations of Russian collusion to, more recently, Trump's comments about the National Football League. One study concludes almost a third of Americans, 29%, say today's frenzied political climate is causing relationship problems, and the New York Daily News story "Trump presidency is destroying marriages across the country" reports. There's even a term for the marital mayhem between Trump acolytes and the liberal lovers, the Trump divorce. In short, throughout most of 2017, dire news has dominated our media, and our consciousness. That's why some may wonder how the October issue of WND's acclaimed monthly Whistleblower magazine could possibly be headlined, "And Now the Good News." It is subtitled, "Drowning in Bad News. Americans are revived by demonstrations of genuine courage and grace." Take Hurricane Harvey, with its near-biblical level of flooding and epic destruction. This mega-natural disaster swept in a flood of very different sorts of news reports, uplifting good news stories, hour after hour, day after day. Heroism, generosity, love and sacrifice, stories of neighbors helping neighbors and strangers alike, stories of private boats and canoes and jet skis rescuing the stranded in scenes reminiscent of the Dunkirk flotilla, stories of human kindness overflowing, of people who couldn't care less about the race, gender, politics, or religion of the person being rescued, nor of the rescuer. The nation seemed to be one big family again. And so everyone was transported, however fleetingly, into the true America they love and honor, with scenes of extraordinary valor and charity that would be reprised shortly thereafter when Hurricane Irma brutally ravaged Florida. During this brief respite from interminable bad news, Americans were daily treated to stirring, back-to-back stories like neighbors form a human chain to help woman in labor wade through Houston floodwaters, Houston doctor canoes through floodwaters to perform surgery, millionaire takes in 70 foster kids displaced by Hurricane Irma, and woman charters plane to rescue 300 animals affected by Irma. Much the same thing occurred in the aftermath of the horrendous October 1 Las Vegas mass shooting. In the midst of sheer terror, shock, chaos and unthinkable carnage, not only that city's first responders but countless concertgoers and other citizens instantly sprang into action, tending to the more than 500 injured and transporting many to nearby hospitals in their own vehicles, since ambulances were completely overwhelmed. Then they stood in line for hours to donate much-needed blood, contributed generously to relief funds, and in so many other ways showed the world a remarkable display of neighbor helping neighbor in the face of great evil. Of course, Americans know from hard experience that catastrophe and adversity bring the best out of many people. Yet, to conclude from all of this that uncommon bravery and human kindness spring forth only in response to natural disasters and terror attacks would be wrong. The same American spirit we celebrate for helping during major crises is alive and well and manifest every single day in our nation. We just don't tend to hear about it from the media, where if it bleeds, it leads. As this very special issue demonstrates, America still has millions of people full of goodness and courage, qualities that daily show up in stories most people never hear about but which are featured in October's Whistleblower. Okay, some may wonder, I know there are generous and wonderful people everywhere and their stories are great. But what about our country we're besieged by political madness and mass terror attacks? Where's the good news in the big picture? As a matter of fact, the October issue includes a unique and comprehensive look at what Trump has accomplished in just 8 months, which will totally neutralize the establishment media's never-ending propaganda claiming the president hasn't achieved much of importance. The truth, as readers will discover in Whistleblower, is quite the opposite. Highlights of And Now the Good News include Making America Good Again by David Kupalian. Amid wall-to-wall bad news, somehow our nation's exceptional decency still manages to shine through. In Houston, outpouring of selfless acts has been tremendous and surreal by Jacques Havelka, in which the hurricane survivor shows, this is the America that is rarely depicted in the mainstream media. No greater love. How American rescued 6-year-old Iraqi girl from ISIS by Art Moore, the extraordinary true story, with photos of God's intervention in the middle of a dark place. Christian leaders call for Year of Good News by Bob Unruh, in which Franklin Graham, James Dobson, Greg Laurie and others join to reject fake news, depressing news. What Trump has accomplished in just 8 months. A comprehensive look at genuinely good news you will never hear from the establishment media. Trump's greatest accomplishment by David Kupalian. The good news, even about the end of the world by Joseph Farah, on the part of the gospel that has been left out by too many teachers and preachers and evangelists. Hurricane Harvey's Lesson in Humanity by Laura Hollis. What is required is genuine love for others, including those who you don't like very much. Sometimes the good guys win by Dennis Prager. The radio talker reveals how conducting an orchestra turned into a major victory over the intolerant left. Judge Moore. God's Law by Patrick J. Buchanan, who asks, do court decisions that force Christians to act against their religious beliefs have to be obeyed? Surviving and Thriving in an Increasingly Angry Nation by David Kupalian, on the secret to genuine happiness found in a prison cell 30 feet underground. Comments. Whistleblower editor David Kupalian. This special issue provides a startling contrast to the non-stop dire news, and focuses instead on some truly good news. And that's important, because in the final analysis, what makes America great is her goodness. Special offer for a limited time. Subscribe to Whistleblower, renew or give a gift subscription for 1 year and you'll get $10 off the already discounted rate. Pay only $39.95 instead of the usual $49.95, plus you'll receive a very special free gift. Alone Yet Not Alone made national headlines when the little-known Christian movie garnered an Academy Award nomination for its song of the same title, Alone Yet Not Alone, performed by Joni Eareckson-Tada. Controversy further erupted when the Academy then yanked the nomination away. The double controversy of the nomination first, then its removal, raised hackles in both Christianity and Hollywood. An Oscar-winning Hollywood producer even blasted the Academy for exhibiting what many will see as faith-based bigotry, pure and simple. Yet Eareckson-Tada said SHES seen the hand of God work within the controversy, and like the story of Joseph in the book of Genesis, what could have been meant for evil would really be turned to good. The song was never meant to win awards, but to communicate a message of God's faithfulness and love, Eareckson-Tada told WND at the 22nd Annual Movie Guide Awards. And now, because of the decision, more people have heard about Alone Yet Not Alone than may have heard otherwise, so the message is reaching out to more and more people. Watch the music video for the song Alone Yet Not Alone below. The film Alone Yet Not Alone is based on the true story of a frontier family caught in the throes of the French and Indian War in 1755. The movie is based on a novel of the same name written by Tracy Lininger Craven, which tells the struggles of her ancestors in the mid-1700s when British and French forces were fighting for control of the American continent. The Liningers, immigrants from Germany who sought freedom to worship in the New World, began to carve out their homestead farm around Penns Creek at the outskirts of western Pennsylvania. Despite the arduous work, the Liningers labor joyfully, nourished by God's promises, which they memorized during their daily reading of the cherished family Bible. Then the unthinkable happens in a terrifying raid. Delaware warriors kidnap the 2 young Lininger daughters, Barbara and Regina, taking them captive hundreds of miles away and adopting them into their native culture. Yet through their captivity and eventual escape, they never lose hope and their faith becomes their freedom. Watch the trailer for the film below. I loved it. The story is gripping, photography stunning and message so wonderfully reassuring. On behalf of the scores of viewers whose spirits will be lifted up by this project, thank you, thank you, thank you. Celebrated Christian author and pastor Max Lucado. Alone Yet Not Alone has a very clear message that God will never leave you nor forsake you. He rescues the captives. The gospel is presented clearly in contrast to the brutal paganism of the Indians. It's refreshing to see a movie without revisionist history. MovieGuide.org. Alone Yet Not Alone is another breakthrough film from the Christian film industry. I am very happy to see this film hit the market. It will no doubt minister and not simply entertain. There are no naps. It's action-packed and exciting. It challenges the simple and exposes evil. The makers of this film are getting at some things film was downright made for. I commend it highly. John Decker, ChristianAnswers.net. Even better offer: subscribe, renew or give a gift subscription for 2 years, and not only will you receive a loan, yet not a loan, but you'll get $10 off the already discounted 2-year rate. Pay only $74.95 instead of the usual $84.95. These special free offers will end without notice and are good in the US only. Subscribe to Whistleblower. Renew your Whistleblower subscription. Give a gift Whistleblower subscription. Whistleblower is now available also in STATEOFTHEART digital form. Subscribe to Digital Whistleblower here. Please note, when your Whistleblower subscription is due to expire, you will receive a renewal notice from us. To keep Whistleblower coming, do nothing and renew your subscription automatically for the special low price of only $39.95 by charging your credit or debit card. There's never any risk, as you may cancel at any time for a full refund of the unused portion of your subscription. If you prefer, you may order a single copy of the October 2017 issue. And now the good news: drowning in bad news. Americans are revived by demonstrations of genuine courage and grace. Or get the digital version here if you wish to order by phone. Call our toll-free order line at 1-800-4WNDCOM 18 billion 4,963,266.